Yeah.
Hi guys, Victoria Paxton here. Thanks for stopping back by my YouTube channel. So a couple of things. First off, I'm going to be having surgery. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-record some of these videos, while I'm recovering, because I don't know how long it's going to take me to recover. But I'm fine, no worries. Has nothing to do with the brain issues, so I'm all good. Okay, so today I want to talk about Kenneka Jenkins. So this is my opinion. This is what I got. I don't want to be sued, y'all. Okay, so she was 19 years old. She was found dead on September 10th of 2017. She was found in a walk-in freezer at the Crown Plaza at the Chicago O'Hare Airport. Oh my God. Don't listen to me. This was at the Crown Plaza at the Chicago O'Hare Hotel. I'm used to going to Chicago O'Hare Airport. Okay, so I was able to connect with her pretty quickly. The first thing was she came through smiling and really bubbly and just seemed like she had a really great personality. I mean, she was a cute little girl, good personality, just came through that way. I told her I wanted to talk about her death and that I'd love to hopefully give her family some closure. She said she missed her family and friends, but that she's been able to check in on them. So I'm sure most of you know when you pass, if you're in a good place, you can come back and check in on your family and friends. And you have that ability. So yeah. When I was like nudging her so that I could start asking her questions and see what she had to say about her final hours, she was kind of apprehensive, which I completely understand. The way she died was, horrible. So I understand that. I mean, yeah. Okay. So she walks me through getting to the hotel and going into this party, and there were a lot of people, and she knew a lot of them. She didn't know all of them, but she knew a lot of them. And everybody was drinking and everybody was having a good old time. So she told me that she had taken pills. And I was, okay, so while she's walking me through this, I was able to feel what she was feeling. So the best way I can explain it is I used to suffer from really bad grand mal and petit mal seizures. I mean, it was a horrible time in my life. It was nonstop. I basically felt like I had no life. Between the grand mals and the petit mals and all this medication that they put me on, I was on Depakote. And I mean, I was taking like 4,000 milligrams a day. I was like a zombie. I don't remember a lot of that time period because of that medication. It made me so cloudy and just drowsy, and I couldn't think straight, and I didn't know what I was doing, and it was really hard to function. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm feeling. I don't know what she took per se, but that's what I'm feeling. Is like my head just like kind of in a fog. But it wasn't like when I was taking 4,000 milligrams of medication. Okay, she was still able to, excuse me, gotta drink some of my Diet Pepsi. She was totally still able to think and function. She was just clouded. So, okay, then she drank a little bit. And I feel like whatever she drank, it wasn't something that she was used to drinking. Or maybe it's that she wasn't used to taking the medication and drinking together. I'm not sure, but I just felt like that wasn't like anything that she was aware of. Okay, so she was thinking at this point, sorry guys. I feel like I'm about to lose my voice. So she's, feeling like, wow, she was just out of it, kind of just not feeling right. And she's worried about her mom. Her mom's going to be so mad at her. I'm not sure why her mom's going to be so mad at her, but she's really worried about her mom being upset with her. So I don't know. Yeah, she's really worried about her mom, thinking she's not being responsible. Her mom's going to be upset. Maybe because she's drinking and at a party or something that she shouldn't be at. I don't know. So, okay, the medicine that she took, I keep going back to. I don't know if she was prescribed this medicine or she just took it at this party, like someone just randomly handed it to her. For some reason, I don't think she had seizures. I don't see that. I don't feel that she had epilepsy or anything like that, or seizure disorder. So I'm thinking somebody maybe gave her this medicine to take. I don't know. I do know one thing. When I was on Depakote, there's no way I could have drank, because I literally would have just been like unconscious, because I was already so out of it with just the medication, the alcohol, because it slows everything down, and for some reason that's important. Like, it slows everything down. So, okay, so then I'm walking, and there's, I think, 2 girls with me, and I think they're my friends. But for some reason, I feel like there's a 3rd girl, but I think maybe she's like lagging back behind. So I'm walking, and I get on an elevator. I go down and I get off an elevator. I feel like maybe I'm in the lobby or like a little waiting area or something. Yeah, maybe like the lobby. And then I'm kind of out of it. And then all of a sudden I'm by myself. So I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know where these girls went. But so then I feel myself, she's getting up. Getting on an elevator. Yeah, I feel like she's going down like to the basement or something, maybe. Excuse me. She gets off the elevator, and at this point I'm feeling like euphoric, like really out of it. So I'm wondering if all of a sudden maybe the medication and the drinking combined to cause this feeling, because I really feel out of it. Yeah, and I'm okay now. I can see her. She's like bumping into things, and she's trying to open doors. Yeah, she's like trying to open doors, and I feel like she's like, gosh, where's everybody at? Like, I kind of feel like if I open the right door, I'm going to be back at the party and I'm going to be okay. That's kind of what I feel like she's doing. That's why she's kind of like checking doors, I think. That's what I'm feeling. Wow. So now I'm like above her, okay? So I'm above her. I can see her. She's bumping into things. Her balance is off. She's just not in her right mind. She's just really out of it. Okay, and I need to say here, like, when I do these, whether I do it for the police department or whether I do it for here on YouTube, I'm trying to figure out what happened and hoping to get closure to the family, right? So my thinking going into this was, oh my gosh, this girl must have been murdered. That's why somebody in my comment section mentioned it, and somebody in my email mentioned it. So I'm thinking, okay, this girl was murdered, right? That's what I was thinking going into it. But I don't research at the beginning, okay? I get what I get, write it down, and then I research, and then I come back and compile it together so I can say what I need to say to the camp, to talk about it. So yeah, so anyway, so I see her wandering down the hallway. Here's the strange thing. I see her passing this guy. It looks like he has like a work shirt on. So I think he works for the hotel. Yeah. And he just walks past her and he looks at her and just laughs and kind of sloughs it off and keeps going. I don't understand that. Especially if I were a patron, if I were staying at the hotel and I saw some little girl, you know, she's only 19, you know, bouncing off the walls literally, you know, and out of it, the first thing I would do is grab that girl and help her go upstairs to the main level to the concierge and help try to figure out where she's staying and if she needs help. You know what I mean? This guy literally just walked past her, just turned back and looked at her laughing. And I feel like she passed somebody else. For some reason, I can't see the guy this time, but I feel like she passed a second person at some point. So here's what I have to say. So right off the bat, the hotel has got to be held liable. You know, they have security cameras. They have people on staff 24/7 for a reason, to protect their patrons, their clients, the ones that pay their bill, you know, the ones that give them their paycheck. And this poor little girl is passing by people that appear to work there, and they're just laughing at her and not helping her. What the heck is that? And let me just say, even if she didn't pass by people that work there, you know, they still should be liable, because there's, you know, I found out later there's video footage of her wandering around, running into walls and stuff. The same thing I'm seeing happen. There's video footage of it. So they should be held responsible. Ugh, just frustrates me. Okay. So she's wandering down a hall, and then it's like I lose time. I can't see her anymore. It's like there's like a blank, empty space. And then I see her and she's walking into like a kitchen. Okay, now I've worked in a commercial kitchen. I used to cook meals after funerals at this church. You know, sometimes, one time we cooked for 900 people. Sometimes we would cook for 60, 200, you know. So I know all about commercial kitchens, and I want to tell you a little story. So in our commercial kitchen, we would open the door, walk into the refrigerated section, and then there's a little ramp, and you open the other door, and then you're in the freezer section. So anyway, I was there cooking, and the one girl asked me if I could get something out of the fridge and freezer. So I go into the fridge, I get what I need, I put it on the cart, I leave the cart there, I turn the light on in the freezer, I go into the freezer. Now keep in mind, I had my coat on, because the girl had said, hey, I need you to go in there and look, I'm not sure where this meat is, I need you to look around. And it was a packed freezer. So I had put my winter coat on and went in there, and so I'm looking around, and I'm looking and looking and looking, and I'm not finding what she's asking me to find. So I'm like, okay, I need to just go ask her, you know, because she wasn't sure where it was located, but she thought she knew. So I was like, crap, let me just go ask her. So I go to open up the freezer door, and it wouldn't open. I was like stuck in there. I took my full body weight, and I'm not a little girl, I'm a pretty big girl. Took my full body weight, and I ran, and I slammed my arm into it to try to get it open. This thing would not open. I popped this aluminum metal thingy lid off of this big thing of ice cream, and I'm trying to wedge that in the seal. I mean, I was panicked at this point, right? Finally, the girl, I guess, noticed I'd been gone for a while, you know, because I was banging and screaming. And then she came in and she opened up the door, and she was like, are you okay? And I'm like, no. And I told her what happened. She said, oh my God. So after that, we ended up locking the main door to the kitchen at all times, because the last thing we wanted was for somebody to get locked in there and not be able to get out, you know. But I'm telling you, like, it was terrifying. It was terrifying. So, so ultimately, she walks into this kitchen. And remember how I said before, she was like trying to open up doors. Whenever she would see a door, she would try to open up and get in there. So she opened up the door and goes in, and it was like this big open area. I don't know if it was actually like a freezer. I don't think it was. And then she went and opened up like another door, I think, and went in there. Okay. So it was dark. Like, there were no lights. So I'm seeing absolutely nothing. All I can hear is her. I hear her sigh really loud. Oh, that's the one thing I forgot. Prior to her going into this room, I felt like she was like hot. Like, she was really hot. So I don't know if that was from the alcohol or the medication or both. I don't know. But I felt really hot. So when she gets into this room, it's really cold. I feel like she sighed like a deep sigh. And I think that was because she was so hot, she walks in there and it felt so good, right? But it's pitch black in there. So I couldn't see her at this point. So I hear a couple of thuds, and I hear her, it sounds like she like falls against something, and then I hear her sigh on the ground. So at this point I'm like, okay, she's on the ground. So she was laying on the ground, right? And then I could hear her breathing, like she was still, and she was breathing. And then that's the last thing I get. So I think, okay. So I think, as much as I want to say that she was murdered, so there's somebody to hold responsible, because I can't imagine what her parents, her family, and her friends are going through. I don't think she was murdered. I know she wasn't. I mean, now, when I did the research, somebody said that the freezer was locked. And maybe that's true. Maybe somebody goes into that kitchen, walks by, sees that the freezer door is maybe a little ajar, and just shuts it and locks it. Because supposedly this was a kitchen they hadn't been using. So maybe that happens. Was it intentional? I don't think so at all. Had somebody have seen a foot or a leg laying there, of course, they're not just going to shut and lock the door. You know what I mean? So yeah, I wish I could say she was murdered, but I don't feel like she was. Now here's the sad reality. Okay, when I was researching it, her mother contacted the police and said she was at the Crown Plaza, that her daughter's friends had contacted her. She couldn't find her daughter. She needed help. She asked the hotel employees to look at the footage. They wouldn't. Here's the sad reality. Had they have looked at 5 o'clock in the morning, okay, a couple hours later, had they have looked at the footage and seen her wandering around and seen her in that kitchen and went down there, I think they could have saved her life. I honestly think she would still be alive today. I don't know why this happens. Things happen. We don't always understand why, but I have a hard time understanding why there was a lock on this freezer to where it could be locked from the outside. Why was there a lock on the freezer? If this kitchen wasn't even being used, why was there a lock on the freezer? And furthermore, why wasn't the whole kitchen locked up? How was it that she was able to go in there? That doesn't make any sense to me. So right there, I mean, definitely the hotel should be held liable. I wish I had better news. But it was a horrific accident. It was horrible, and I hope her family and friends can find some kind of peace. I don't know how to tell them to do that, but I wish they could. So, okay guys, thanks for watching. Bye.